Hi you guys, so this is gonna be my first video back to YouTube. As you guys know, if you've seen my past video, I only have one video on my channel. I look very different from then to now. I believe it was uploaded in between August and October, but I did want to say sorry for not being more consistent on my channel. I do know that there were a few people asking me, just like personal relationships, to be more consistent on my channel and to, do a tutorial and more tips and tricks, because I do have a lot of people that I know personally in real life who are always asking me to do some sort of like a tutorial, a really in-depth tutorial on how to do or achieve a certain look. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing here for you guys today. So I'm actually going to be doing a soft glam Valentine's look, something along those lines. Excuse this ugly little mountain on my face, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a soft glam Valentine's Day tutorial. So let's get right into it. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. The first thing I always do is pin back my hair, unless of course, I do it beforehand, but today I did not. This is my fresh out of the shower air dried hair. Just gonna pull this up, put it in an ugly little bun, call it good. Okay, so now that my hair is up, I'm going to take off my glasses, and the first step that I always like to do when I am doing, I'm actually going to move you guys over here because I do have my little vanity mirror that I unplugged that I'm going to use, so I hope it doesn't get too in the camera, but I am gonna go ahead and start with skin prep. That's always my number one first step before doing any makeup look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these e.l.f. makeup remover cleansing cloths. I love these, they're super cheap. They're not as good as the Neutrogena ones, but I'm trying to stay away from those because they're a little expensive. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe down my face. I don't think there's anything here, but it's always a good first step in any makeup routine, just to make sure you have like a clean blank canvas to work with. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use The Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid 2% and B5 serum. This I am obsessed with. Anything The Ordinary I'm kind of obsessed with, although this is the only product I've personally tried. From what I understand, they're really good about putting their money towards their products and not so much the branding, which is something I can really appreciate. They care more about getting a good product out to the consumer that actually works, as opposed to a crappy product that looks pretty. Like, I don't know, it's just something I can really appreciate in a brand when they have integrity and they know, that that's more important to the consumer. So I'm gonna go ahead and rub that in. I kind of got it in my eye, burns a little bit. Okay, rookie mistake. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rub that in, make sure it's all even on my skin. And this actually, since it is more of a hydrating serum to bring the hyaluronic acid out of your skin into the surface to make it more supple, dewy, even. You would think it would be more hydrating, but it's not. It's actually a pretty drying serum on my skin. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Clean and Clear Watermelon Gel Moisturizer, just a little bit, disperse it on my hands, and rub that all over my face and a little bit down the neck. You always want to make sure your skincare gets on your neck. The next thing I'm going to do, and I apologize for trying to speed through this so quickly, but I do want to get this done in as little takes as possible so it's less editing for me, because I'm not good at that stuff. I don't know anything about it, honestly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is just the original, not the matte, not the Lumi. I did talk about the Lumi one in my last tutorial, and I do still really like it, but I actually like the original formula more. So what I do is I kind of just rub this in all over my porous areas, which is mostly on my nose and kind of through here. So I'll rub that in, and then I'll take a damp beauty blender. This is the e.l.f. I think it's called the Flawless Complexion Sponge or something. I love that sponge. I have a few of them, and they are my absolute favorite. But after I rub it in, I'm just gonna pat it in just to make sure that it's a nice even base for the makeup. And now we're gonna do something really exciting. I finally got my hands on the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This is in shade Fair 120 Neutral, which is a neutral with beige undertones. This is supposed to be amazing. It's supposed to be a really good dupe for the IT CC Cream. And this one has a lot of skin-loving ingredients in it, such as collagen, peptides, and niacinamide. You know, that's great. The more help I can get with my skin, the better. I'll take it, you know. So I am gonna just open this here. I'm so excited to try this product. I've been wanting to try it, could never get my hands on it, didn't have the money for it. But I did actually find this, oddly enough, at my local Walgreens. It was really weird. It kind of just, e.l.f. kind of just popped up there one day. And I have been saving it to try on camera with you guys. And not gonna lie, when I say saving, I mean I bought it like an hour ago and I've been waiting to use it to film. I'm so excited to try this product. I also did pick up the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, which I ride or die for. I honestly feel like I would like the hydrating version better, but as I said in my last video, the shades are different, and the lightest shade in the 16-hour version is this, which is Fair Warm. The lightest shade in the Camo hydrating version is Fair Warm, but it's much darker. Don't know what's up with that. Very sad that they're too dark for me, but you know, it is what it is. And then I am gonna finally try these guys. I did pick up the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick in shade Loyalist, and their Lifter Gloss in shade Ice. So I think these are gonna go good with like a darker color underneath, hopefully. So yeah, I guess now we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the skin. Ooh, I'm so excited. I heard this is better with a brush and then, you know, pat it on top with a beauty blender, but I hate applying complexion products with a brush. I just don't think it works well on my skin. Again, I'm sorry for getting this in the way, but I need it because I am blind. So what we're gonna do, and I hope this is a good enough match for me. If not, no big deal. I can, you know, go over it. But now that our skin is all primed, feels soft, feels a little bit tacky, I am going to go ahead and go in with this. Do I want to do it on my beauty blender or straight to my face? Beauty blender. So I'm going to do about 2 pumps to start on my beauty blender. And we're going to go here, here, and we're going to start. Ooh, this has really good coverage. Right off the bat, this has beautiful coverage. Honestly, I've always wanted to try a CC cream, but I've never found one that would provide enough coverage for me, or that was light enough for me. So if this works out, I'm gonna be very excited. But also, I did just want to let you guys know that I may not be looking at the camera too much while I'm doing my makeup. I'm sorry about that. I'm just very blind and I need a mirror. So I am going to be utilizing my mirror a lot. Sorry about that in advance. And I'm going to try to drag this down my neck a little bit onto the ears, just to, you know, make sure I have a nice even base all over. To start. I feel like this shade is a little yellow for me, which is weird because it's supposed to be neutral undertones, but that's fine. We can make it work. Guys, the coverage on this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's not the most coverage I've ever had in my life, but honestly, these days, I'm not into super full coverage, so this works out for me. Although I will say, I'm going to grab this and get a little closer. Sorry if I block the camera, but I will say I was expecting a little bit more dewiness from this primer, a little bit more of a luminous finish. It's fine that it's not. I can give myself that look with other products, you know, but I don't know. I was just expecting more of a dewy, luminous finish, and I'm definitely not getting that, which is odd. It does have a nice natural finish, but I was hoping for more of a dewy. Okay. I will say, for me not exfoliating my skin in the shower before this and doing my skincare today and all of that, like my full skincare, this is making my skin look pretty good. Ooh, I should have shaved my eyebrows before this. Whatever. This is making my skin look pretty even, pretty nice. So that's good. That's exciting. That, you know, even on top of skin that's not necessarily perfect, it can still perform well. I am really enjoying that about this foundation. Just right off the bat. Let me see if I got it down my neck good enough. Okay, so I am going to be done with the CC cream for now. I really do like it, and in the camera, I feel like it's reading more dewy than it actually is, which is fine. I love that look for me. But in person, I would just want to tell you guys it is a little bit more matte. Now I am going to go in with the concealer, the e.l.f. 16-hour CC Camo Concealer. And I'm going to do a little dot there, a little dot there to start. If you guys had ever seen, ooh, a hair flew into my eye. Beautiful. If you guys had ever seen me do my makeup, I know some of you who watch this have, in the past. I would definitely say that my makeup routine has changed, like, astronomically, which I think is a good thing. Due to how my makeup was in the past, like, it's definitely a good thing. I used to do this full coverage concealer, like a whole triangle down here. It was crazy. And honestly, if I had any tips for beginner makeup artists, or not even makeup artists, but just like everyday people who want to be better at makeup, even in whether it's an everyday look or a more full glamorous look, my tip to you would be this. Don't, just because your favorite beauty influencer, beauty guru, whatever, does something on their skin or on their eyes or their eyebrows or their lips or whatever, and you think it looks nice on them, doesn't mean that it's gonna work the same on you. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. I feel like all the influencers I see put the giant concealer triangles, the one up here, a bunch on the nose, like everywhere. And I mean, just for my skin, I don't think it's necessary or looks good. That's just for me. But yeah, that is a big tip that I'm still trying to learn, is like, do your makeup how you want to do your makeup, how it looks best for you. Don't just follow the trends just because. That's definitely a tip I would give to anyone starting out. The next thing I'm going to do is kind of spot conceal my blemishes. I am breaking out all of a sudden out of nowhere, of course, right when I want to film this video, but it's okay. I'm human. It happens. It happens. Okay. Now that I have the base done, I am gonna try to do, no, I'm not. I was gonna try to cream contour, decided against that. I don't think that's a good idea today because I'm having trouble seeing this mirror just because it's at a weird angle and natural lighting. So I'm gonna skip out on that. Excuse the sirens. I'm filming in front of the window that faces a busy road outside of my apartment. My apologies. This video is kind of a mess, but so is my life. So what I'm gonna do now is, because I'm not gonna cream contour, I'm actually gonna go ahead and set my face with powder. And this is another tip I'd like to give anyone starting out or who just wants a tip from me personally. Do not cake the powder on like you see all the influencers do. That's for a couple reasons. The first one being is they're in front of basically movie grade cameras with like ring lights and all this stuff. So they have the equipment to make it still look flawless, but in everyday life, that much powder, that much makeup in general doesn't really work for most people. I tried really hard to make it work for me and it did not. So I'm really light with the powder now, which is definitely a better effect for me on my skin. One sad thing I do want to talk about is that my favorite loose setting powder by e.l.f., it's the Halo Glow Translucent Setting Powder, is discontinued, you guys. It's discontinued. That's very sad because it was the best powder I've ever tried out of drugstore or a high-end. I ran out of it because I used literally to the very last grain of powder I used it. And they don't make it anymore. So I'm just going to go in with the good old Coty Airspun powder, which I mixed a little bit of loose highlighter powder into, oddly enough. But I just take the smallest amount on my brush. Like that is the smallest coating. And I kind of start with less because in makeup I feel like less is more. It's easier to add more, but harder to take some away if you use too much. So I'm going to get a little close to the mirror and I'm just going to, powder my face. I always start with the nose because my nose can look awful in makeup. I have a very porous nose. So for me, it's really important to make it look as flawless as possible. So I might be a little bit quiet while I do that, but I will be right back. And I just take the brush and I lightly stamp the powder on. Nothing crazy. I don't swirl it. I stamp it. And I try to get over my pores more than anything else because, oh wow. Wow, this base, these base products set beautifully. Wow, I'm blown away. Was not expecting to be mind blown today, but here we are. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on setting my under eyes, and with that, I always take a little bit more powder, but I always make sure to buff out my under eye first, make sure there's no creases before I set it. Oh, there's powder, fuzzy on my nose. So just buff out those creases. And then take that powder, the small amount of powder on your brush, and just buff it in. Okay. Wow. This sets really beautifully, you guys. And same on the other side. Just buff it in, buff it in. Okay. And I am gonna kind of use this smaller brush. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH30. I believe it's actually a highlighter brush, but I use it for small powder, like more precise powder application. And I'm just gonna spot cover my blemishes. Okay, and then just go down here. And now what I'm going to do for the rest of my face is I am going to take a bigger brush. Where are ya? I may have left my bigger brush over there. Oh well. I guess I will use this brush. This is a really old Morphe brush. You can see by the old logo. And the bristles are falling out, and girl, it's just a mess. But it gets the job done with a few stray bristles along the way. So until I can afford new brushes, this is gonna have to do. And I'm just gonna lightly set the rest of my face, starting over here because this is kind of where I place my contour. And the way I apply my powder is I stipple it on and then I buff it in. I fill it, and again, I use a very small amount of powder for this. But again, I just feel like it works better for me and my skin. So I'm looking a little powdery, but that's because, bristle in my mouth. That's because this powder is not very good, honestly. I know people who love the Coty Airspun powder, but the ingredients aren't very good for your skin. Nothing about it is very good besides the price point. It's just what I had to make do with until I can go get a new powder. But I mean, it gets the job done, and after I finish my makeup, it's gonna look fine after I use setting spray and all of that. So lightly go up here, all over the forehead, get a little bit more powder, shake it off. And I love going ham on the powder only on my eyebrows. I don't know if I'm crazy or what, but I feel like using powder on the eyebrows makes them look better when you do your eyebrows when you're done with your base. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel. So I kind of go like that, and then I buff it into the rest of my forehead where I put my contour, especially because I don't want that contour to come out muddy. So I'll go like that and go like this. Get a little more powder. A little bit more. And when I say, you guys, that I use a little bit of powder, I use the lightest dusting on my brush. Like, it's crazy. I just think it works way better for my skin. For most people's skin, I would say that's probably the better route to take. Okay, now that my base is all set, I am gonna go ahead and contour. Well, bronze more than contour, I would say. And for that, I am gonna go ahead and use the James Charles Release Your Inner Artistry palette or whatever. This big, huge, gigantic palette covers literally my entire face and then some. I have the mini palette of this as well, which of course would be better if you were traveling, things like that. But I use this specifically for this shade because in the mini palette, as you can imagine, it's much smaller and harder to access. So in this big palette, I use this shade for contour and bronzing because although it is a brown, it's a cool tone brown. And because I'm so fair, that just works better for my skin. So I am going to go ahead and contour when I can find my brush. Okay, so I'm going to take this bigger brush because today I don't want a super harsh contour. I honestly just want a little bit of a wash of color. And I'm going to start at my hairline in front of my ear, kind of right here, and go in light circular motions. And like I said, I'm going very light with the contour today. You kind of just want to work that into the hollows of your cheek in light circular motions. I feel like that's the best way to apply bronzer or contour is like little circular motions. I feel like that works well for most makeup applications no matter what you're doing. So I don't know, I just feel like it works well. It's just the best way to get it done, I guess, in my opinion. And I kind of like to like scrunch my eyebrows down as if I'm frowning when I do my forehead, because honestly, the lines and the wrinkles in your forehead can really mess up your makeup if you don't make it a flat surface while you're applying. So I'm just working that in, kind of use the rest of the excess of what's on my brush to go back into the hollows of my cheeks. Get a little bit more. Wow, look at that. I said I was gonna go easy with the bronzer, and here we are. It's fine. It's fine. It's a little crazy on my forehead, but I will make it work, trust. And I'm gonna repeat that same process on this side. Another little tip I have for you guys, it's actually a mistake that I used to make when I first started out in makeup, would be to not take your bronzer or contour all the way down like here. That's not really gonna work for most people. It's gonna do the opposite of what you want it to do. So basically, when you bronze or contour and highlight and things like that, you're trying to kind of give your face a certain shape, the desired shape that you want. Some people need a lot more help. Some people don't need much help at all. My face kind of needs a lot of help because I'm a big girl and I have a double chin and my face is pretty round and fat, and I want it to be more angular. So for me, I kind of try to focus my contour right here on my cheeks. That way it kind of gives me more of like a lifted, sculpted cheekbone type of look. And then I have a big forehead, which is why I go in on the forehead. I personally don't like to go and put bronzer or anything on my chin because I have a double chin and it'll just look like a brown stripe on me. Some people love that hack. I just don't on myself, which is fine. You know, not every makeup tip is going to work for everybody. And that's another thing that I want to make sure you guys know is like, just because something works for me or doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you. That's definitely important to know. It's not going to be like that with anybody. Everybody has different skin. Everybody has different like shades in their skin, different types of skin, different shaped face. So yeah, it's kind of just really, makeup I feel is universal but also very individual, because you can kind of, I don't know, it's like a snowflake. Like not a single one person has the exact same face as you. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just rambling at this point, but that's fine. So now that I have that on, I'm going to go ahead and do blush, which is one of my favorite parts. And for this, I've been really, really into peachy blushes. I think they are so pretty on my skin, with my skin tone and all of that. I am using an old Too Faced Christmas palette thing. It used to have a flap, but it ripped off. The contour is completely gone in here, but I use shade Luminous Peach in their blush, and I think it is beautiful. Let me kind of get a little bit extra on my brush and then buff it out to see if you guys can, see it better. But I think it really gives like that cute blushing girly effect, and I think that's going to be perfect for the look we're going for today, which is more of like a girly, flirty Valentine's Day soft glam. So what I like to do is I kind of start up here and I work my way onto the apples slowly and lightly. So we're going to do that. And again, small circular motions. I like to focus the majority of the product kind of right here, not so much on the apples. I drag some onto the apples, of course, but you always want to start more in the back and then lightly bring it forward. Allergies. And then I'm probably going to do a little on the chin, a tiny bit on the nose, and a little on the forehead, just to kind of make the color look even across my face. Okay, awesome. That did kind of help a little bit there. And I feel like my chin looks stark white. So I'm going to do a little bit here on the chin area. Beautiful. And I honestly really suck at nose contour, so I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna kind of get some on the brush, tap it off, tap it on my palm of my hand, and then lightly go in onto my nose. This is a tip that people have been loving lately, although some people take it to the extreme. I like a very light wash of color on my nose. So I kind of, put the color on there very lightly, and then I tap it out. I just feel like it makes it look very much more natural on my skin and not so much a stark white. So gonna go ahead and buff over the parts of my face that I want more highlighted, because this does have excess product from before on it, so it kind of gives you that brightening effect. If any of you have a good brightening powder that you guys like and would love to recommend me for someone with very fair skin, please let me know. It would be much appreciated. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a mini setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Shaking Glow Dew Mist. L'Oreal Lumi Shaking Glow Dew Mist. This is a mini. Got it at Walgreens for like $6-7. I shake it, of course, and then I spray my face. This kind of melts everything together and gives me a nice glowy finish, which I love. I'm into much more dewy skin these days, so awesome. Ugh. I kind of do use an excessive amount, as you can see. My face looks a little dripping, and my peach fuzz, which I need to shave off, is very prominent when I spray it. But once it melts in, it really gives your skin a beautiful finish. The next thing I'm going to do actually is my eyebrows. I don't want to do that on camera because I really struggle with my eyebrows. And I don't want to see you guys, or let you guys see me take 30 minutes to do my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. When I come back, I'm going to have my brows done and we will finish up the face. Be right back, you guys. Okay, you guys, I'm back. My brows are on, looking a little wonky, but we're feeling it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight. Now that my setting spray has kind of settled into my skin and absorbed into my skin, and set everything down nicely, I am going to go in with highlighter. Where's my highlighter brush? I actually have multiple of these brushes, the JH30 that I use for my powder. I am going to use it for my highlighter. And this is the Milani. This is the Strobe Light Afterglow Instant Glow Powder. So, love this. I will show you guys my second highlighter that I love. This is the Hello Halo Blush and Highlighter Duo from Wet n Wild. It has a beautiful peachy gold reflect blush and then a very white, almost purpley highlighter. Beautiful, but I'm not going for that today. I'm going for this because it is a bit more pink toned, and again, Valentine's Day look. So I'm going to hit this with a 1-2, tap it off, and I'm going to go on the high points of my face. The logic behind highlighting is to kind of hit where the light would hit on your face. So I'm going to go right here, very lightly. Yep. And then I'm going to do 1-2, tap it, do the same on the other side. Ooh, yeah. And then for me, I love to do it a little tiny bit on the apples of my cheeks because as you can see, this isn't even highlighted. That's just the natural dew in my face catching the light. So I'm going to hit that with a 1-2 tap, and then I'm going to lightly go on the apples on my cheeks. I just think it gives like a cute kind of baby doll type look. I don't know. And then I also love to take this on my nose. I kind of stamp it in on the tip of my nose. And then I hit it with a 1-2 on the bridge, just very lightly. From there, I kind of take the brush on its flatter side and I do a little tiny bit on the forehead. And I try not to, you know, mess up the fresh brows too much. I should have highlighted before I did my brows. Totally forgot. And again, kind of just where, you know, the light would hit your face. I did a little too much on this side, so I'm gonna tap it out a bit. And as you can see, that just gives a very like dewy, luminous, your skin is alive kind of look to your skin. I love to go on the Cupid's bow. I just think when you put on lipstick, it gives a nice little pop. So that's all for this for now. And now we're gonna go on to something exciting, which is the eyeshadow. For today's eyeshadow look, I'm actually gonna be using one of my very favorite palettes. If I can grab it. Oh no. I just dropped my James Charles palette. Okay, you guys. Sorry about that snafu. I am back with one of my favorite palettes for eyeshadow. This is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. This palette is beautiful. Take a look at this, you guys. I think this is perfect for so many different Valentine's Day looks. Excuse me. Excuse the sirens outside. This, obviously you can see, you can do like a more neutral eye look that has like pinky reddy tones. You could do literally a red eye look with these, a purple, a pink, an orangey, even a pop of yellow, or gold. It's just so good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, I think I'm gonna take this shade, which is Homebody. I'm going to take shade Homebody, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to take, yeah, this brush will work. Sorry, I was just making sure this brush was clean. It is. So I'm going to take shade Homebody, do a 1, 2, 3, tap it off. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start by using a darker shade. As you could just see, I took shade Homebody, excuse my watery eyes. And I'm gonna just map out the shape I'm gonna create. Oop, my eye primer kind of creased, so I'm gonna buff that out real quick on both eyes. Okay, so with shade Homebody, I'm gonna start by creating kind of a V shape on the outer corner. And I'm going to tell you guys right away, this is going to look insane at first. Oop. This is going to look absolutely insane at first. But it's okay because we are going to go in a little later and fix it. As you can see, I kind of just do the cat eye right off the bat. So I take that darker shade and I kind of place it, and then I stamp it on to get the pigment nice and pigmented, I guess. And then I do bring it a little bit into the crease. Nothing too crazy, just a little. So as you can see, I have that nice eye shape. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffier brush, if I can find one. Yeah, this guy will do. I'm going to take a little bit of a fluffier brush, which is very stained. It's an old Morphe brush. And I'm going to take shade Comfort Zone mixed with shade Perfectionist. Oh, Comfort Zone mixed with shade Perfectionist. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tap it off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my brush about halfway onto this color we've already placed and halfway onto my skin in little circular motions to kind of buff out this shade. I hope you guys can still see. I'm trying to do one eye off camera. So I'm trying to get this eye done, and then I will go back and finish the other off of camera. I think it'll just be easier. It'll be, you know, save some time. All right, so that's kind of a good little start there. And then I'm going to take an even fluffier brush like this. This is a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH32. And I'm going to do shade Perfectionist, this light shade here, mixed with shade Certified. Wait, let me make sure that's just white. Yeah, that's just white. So I'm going to do Perfectionist, 1, 2, and one little stamp of Certified. And I'm just going to buff that in. And this I'm going to have to do a few times because, you know, to get that perfect blend. I think something a lot of people miss when they are starting out with eyeshadow is they miss the blending. They don't realize, you know, how many different colors you should be using, how many different brushes you should be using, the different techniques you can use. I think it's really important to know those things. And honestly, a question I get asked all the time is, you know, where did you learn your makeup skills? And to be really honest, I learned everything I know from tutorials. My recommendation for anybody starting out is to just watch a ton of tutorials. Like, all your free time, watch them. Okay, and now that I have that done, I am going to take this shade, which is Rider Diamonds, which I think is a very cute name for this shade. This is one of my favorite shades in the palette, this Rider Diamond shade. It's more of like a glitter topper, but I think it's so beautiful. So I'm actually going to take that on my finger. I'm going to get a pretty good amount on there. You can see it's very reflective, very pretty. And I'm just going to stamp that basically on my lid in the blank space that we have left. So I'm going to go here and in here. And I'm going to have to go over that a few times just to get it, you know, pigmented to where I want it. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that Rider Diamond shade. And again, just stamp it on. This time I'm focusing more in the front and then into the back. Beautiful. And I'm going to take that second brush we use and kind of buff out the shimmer that I got in my crease. Perfect. All right. Let me wipe off my finger here. All right, so I am gonna kind of do a little bit of a close-up of this eye, what we have so far. I will do the other eye off camera. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same steps we did up here on the lower lash line, that darker shade, and then the mix of the two middle shades, and then the lighter shade to finish off. I'm gonna kind of go starting at the lash line, working my way down. So yeah, if you guys want a more in-depth eyeshadow tutorial, please let me know. I can do that. If you need an eyebrow tutorial as well, I can do that. It might be tricky because I suck at them, but I can do that for you guys as well. Here is a close-up of the eyeshadow. As you can see, it's a very soft, very pretty pinky brown look. And you can see a close-up of my skin as well. All right, you guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish my other eye off camera. And I will be back to put on mascara, lashes, and lips. And then we will finish up. Bye, you guys. Hi, you guys. I'm back. Both eyes are all complete, as well as, you know, shadow on the lower lash line. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my current mascara. I'm not super picky with mascaras, but I really love the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. That's my favorite. I have only a mini left of that from a holiday set, so I'm saving that for special occasions. So I'm actually going to take the Tarte Maneater Mascara. It's very cute. Ooh. Hello. Okay, so I'm taking the Tarte Man Eater mascara and I'm just going to do a couple coats. My trick with mascara is to start at the root of the lash and slowly work your way to the ends. That avoids clumpiness, just a better mascara application. And what I do, this mirror actually can tilt, if you can see. So I tilt it pretty far back. I look down and I start at the root and come up. So I'm going to do that. I like I said, to focus most of the product on the root of the lash. And then work your way to the rest of the lash. Okay. That is one top lash done. I'm going to go ahead and do the other top lash. On the other side, you're probably not going to be able to see because of the mirror, but oh, maybe you can. Okay, get a little bit more. Okay. All right, they look pretty good. Now, I'm going to do the lower lash line. And a lot of people ask me, Ciara, how do you do the lower lash line? And honestly, I'm not great at it. I need like a MAC Giga Black lash that has a smaller wand than this, like a teeny tiny wand that's more precise for getting the lower lash lines, but I don't have the budget for that right now, so I'm just going to show you what I do. So what I do is I kind of get the excess mascara off of the wand, like so. All right, and I take that little space I created and I kind of wiggle. I go like this, the mascara face, and I wiggle it. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Where is it? Right here. And I wiggle it like this. I start at the root and pull it down. Start at the root, pull it down. This kind of takes practice because obviously, your lashes down here are very close to, your skin. So it's easy to mess this part up and get it everywhere. My tip with that would be let it fully dry and then take a spoolie, which is one of these guys. Take a spoolie or even a Q-tip and just lightly scratch it off and it'll flake right off once it's dry. Okay, we're gonna go in now. Okay, I got too much off the wand. I'm just gonna go in with the straight wand and hope for the best. Okay, that's pretty good. I got one little stamp of mascara on my skin, but like I said, let it dry and it'll flake right off. Go ahead and do the other side. Okay, that side I did pretty bad. I think I need to invest in the Giga Black Lash. As you can see, I got mascara here and under here. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. And then I will use a spoolie, simply flake it off. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my lashes. These are a pair I wore once already. If you guys do not follow me on TikTok or on Facebook, I purchased 20 pairs of eyelashes for $18 on Amazon, and they are beautiful. I will never purchase another lash again. They are amazing. This is one of 4 styles that comes in the box. Incredible. Beautiful. So I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to take my eyelash glue and prep my lashes. I always start with this eye because this eye waters more. So I kind of like to gauge how much they're going to water by starting with that eye. Oh, has a little hair on my tweezers. So I'm just gonna pull this lash off the case, and I'm gonna take my green duo lash glue. I think this is the vegan one. I hope it's the vegan one. And I'm gonna use the little bristle applicator to go right along the lash band. And I try to use like a very thin coat because you don't want to cake it on, because it'll cake up your lash band if you want to reuse them. If not, cake it on. Unfortunately, I don't have the budget for that right now, really. So, okay. And I'm going to let that one dry. And while that get tacky. The trick for lash glue is, as you can see, it goes on blue. And once it gets a little bit clear, like mostly clear, hardly any blue left, that's when you put it on, because that's when it's tacky and ready. But in the meantime, I'm going to take that spoolie and wipe away the mascara flakes I got. See? Comes right off. Okay. Beautiful. All right, and I personally apply lashes with a tweezer, and I'm going to do my very best to show this on camera because putting on lashes is hard, people. For me, it's very hard. All right, it's mostly clear, so I'm going to get my tweezers nice and close to the lash band, pretty much in the middle. And what I do is I tilt the mirror down. You're not going to be able to see, but I tilt the mirror down, start on top of my lashes, and pull them down. I stick it in the center as best as I can, and then I finesse with my tweezers and my fingers. I feel like it's useful to utilize both because, I don't know, I just feel like it's easier that way. And what I like to do is go from the top and push the band of the lashes down as much as I can onto my natural lashes. Putting on lashes is hard for me, you guys. So it's not going to be perfect. It's definitely not going to be perfect. But I'm trying to get it as close to perfect as I can. All right. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little bit quiet while I'm doing this, but lashes are very hard for me. Okay. Looks like that's the best we're gonna get. There we go. Okay, you guys, that's really awful. Hopefully the other eye comes off better, but it's the best we're getting right now, okay? Today has been a day, which is why I'm filming this tutorial to try and cheer myself up. So, yeah, we're just working with it right now. Okay. Now we're going to do the same with the other lash. We're going to use our tweezers to get the band off this thing, the case, I guess, just like that. And what I like to do as well is I like to kind of bend them in the middle like this and then wiggle them around, kind of like to flex out the band to make it seem more round once you pull it off. And again, open your vegan lash glue. We'll do a light coat over the lash band. And let that dry, or get tacky, I should say. And while we're waiting for that to get tacky, I am going to go ahead and highlight the rest of where I need to highlight, I guess. So I'm going to take this highlighter, and I'm going to take a small little brush like this. I'm going to make sure there's no excess product on it from any other shades on my leg because I don't have a paper towel in front of me. Okay, that's good. So take this fluffy brush, go into the highlighter a little bit, and what I like to do, is I go right in the inner corner of my eye. I feel like it just brings a nice little pop to the eyeshadow look. I kind of have to go over it a couple times most of the time, but I truly think it kind of makes your eye pop a little bit, and it's a really important step in my makeup routine. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Okay. I typically put some under the brow bone, but I think today I'm going to skip out on that. But I'm going to apply my other lash now. Oh, not quite ready. Maybe I will do my brow bone. Highlight. Oops. Drop my lash glue. So for my brow bone, I just hit a 1, 2, tap it off, and I literally just go right on the bone under my brow. I think it brings a nice subtle shine that I love. Okay, beautiful. And now my lash should be ready. Maybe almost. Okay, I think it's ready because I removed the excess glue that I put too much on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, do the same thing I did. Maybe you can see this side better. I look down into my mirror. I put the lashes over my natural and pull them down to the lash line. I try to stick the middle first, and then I kind of finesse the edges. So, ooh, this guy's being tricky, I see. Oh, brother. I may have to re-stick this one, you guys. I may have to. Okay, you guys, I'm probably gonna have to re-stick this lash because as you can see, it's not sticking at all in this corner, and I don't want it to mess up my makeup because my eye's already watering. So I'm gonna tap that off, tap off my tears, and reapply the lash glue. Lashes, like I said, are hard for me, so this is not abnormal for me. Okay, I'm gonna let that get tacky, and while we wait, we're gonna go ahead and do my lips. Lips are also a struggle for me. So what I think I'm gonna do, so I can try out both of these products, is I'm gonna go in with a darker liquid lipstick on the outer parts of my lips, kind of like as a lip liner almost. And what I like to do is I do overdraw the line of my lips a little bit. So the shape I like to make is sort of a this. And I, trace the outer part of my lips, so. Okay, that's good. So that's one line. The top, because I have a small top lip, is gonna basically cover my whole lip. That's fine. Same shape. Okay. All right, I think that's a pretty even shape. We're then gonna take the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in shade Loyalist. Go ahead and pop that on. It's a very light pink. And I'm gonna let that dry before I put the gloss on. Okay, now I'm gonna put this lash, which is now mostly dry. Okay, I need to focus, so hold please. There we go. Much better. There we go. And now, I really like how the Maybelline one smells. It smells very vanilla candy-y. And then I'm going to take their Lifter Gloss in shade Ice. Oop. Pull that off. Okay. And I'm just going to apply that right on top. Ooh. Ooh, this gloss is nice. I've never actually tried this gloss before. Okay, you guys. I think that is the final makeup look. Woo! It's about damn time, huh? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into the bathroom, straighten my hair, put on a cuter little outfit for the outro, and I will be right back to say goodbye to you guys. Okay, you guys, I'm back with the finish and final look. As you can see, it came out really beautifully. Overall, the thing I was most excited about was trying this Camo CC Cream by e.l.f. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Beautiful. But yeah, I love how this look came out. If you guys want to see anything in specific, like a specific eyeshadow tutorial or specific eyebrow tutorial, anything like that, please let me know, and I will try my very best to be more consistent on my channel. I have been going through a lot of things in my personal life with my health, nothing with COVID, thank God, but with my health, with my family, with work, just a lot of different things have been going on. So yeah, I'm gonna try my very best to be consistent. No promises will be made, unfortunately, but I do want to say to anyone who's made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope I was able to give you guys some tips and tricks. And, you know, if you would like, I would love it if you guys subscribed. One of those YouTubers, huh? But if you would like, go ahead and subscribe, like this video to let me know you did enjoy the content and you'd like to see more. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.